My first time getting rejected. Sometimes you shoot your shot and you miss. And sometimes you shoot your shot and your shot gets sent right back to the other side of the gym. It's a tragic experience we all go through. So let me walk you through mine. So in middle school, I peaked on the social ladder, right? So far that is the peak of my socialness. Now, I wasn't popular by any means, but this was as close to that status as I ever got, right? Because everywhere I went in the school, I had 3 to 4 people who was cool with me and was down to chat, and most of the time they wanted to chat. And I also had a healthy amount of female friends. I think I had like 2 or 3, but it's middle school. I didn't even have a phone right then. I had a tablet though. Anyways, so, and I also went home, every day when I went home, I was outside with the boys. Yeah, I was outside. Anyways, so the peak of my social life, and so eventually I got a class with this girl, right? We're gonna call her Trisha. Now, Trisha is a pure butterscotch. Now, I normally use that to describe Pacific Islanders, Asian women with that nice caramel brown skin, you know what I'm saying? But she was a butterscotch for the homies. This is one of the girls that Stanley would try to holler at. Not for but just like butterscotch, it's not for everyone, but if you're into them, they're about as good as it gets. Shawty was tall. She was always tall, especially for a girl that age. As cute as they come, she had that athletic build to her that I adore. I need to do, in one of these, I'm just gonna randomly throw in my women's tier list. Not this episode though. We want to get canceled at a later date. Now, Trisha and I had some irrelevant encounters before, but we never actually spoke to each other. Anyways, I was eyeing her down, you know what I'm saying, at the end of class one day, and I'm like, yo, she kind of bad. So I went for it. Hey, Patricia. You got a phone, right?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Can I get your number?
No.
What?
No, you can't have my number.
So yeah, no chance. She completely rejected me and just dismissed me afterwards like I'm a drill sergeant, right? This was a huge L, and a few things happened there. One, it was the first and last time I just walked up and asked a girl for her number without, feeling her out, getting to know her first type B. It also was the first and last time I tried to acquire some butterscotch in person, if you catch what I'm throwing there, right? Dang, hey, that's tough. But anyways, it ended up working out. This was a small event, in the butterfly effect that set up my simp stage of life. But as a side story, because we can't just post a 2-minute video, right? Trisha and I never had a class together again, but I did see her around. I think we actually had no, we never did. Anyways, we actually ended up working together later on. She was still in good shape when we graduated together, and she was pretty good. She was a pretty decent basketball player for our high school. I don't watch basketball like that, but she was alright. I remember people talking about it. But anyways, a year and a half later, she was still in good shape. Everything except her hair was still very good looking, which is crazy because you will see a decent amount of girls that were okay or good looking in high school or especially middle school. They just they go from 10 to 0. But that's because most girls, especially then, some of them are just naturally pretty, but then sometimes their eating habits catch up to them because they're not working out, they're not doing what they're doing no more. So it happens to a lot of athletes. When you're not doing sports no more, you typically gain a lot of weight. I gained over 20 pounds in less than a year after I graduated. Now I've lost that weight now, W me, but nonetheless it happens. Anyways, I'm going on tangents, okay? Now, we had some conversations. We was cool with each other, nothing like conversations like friendly type. It was more like, oh, coworker talk. Anyways, one of the conversations we had was, I work at a super center. I worked at Walmart, a super center. Oh, I still do. And most of the time when your store is a super center, you have some kind of franchise in there. Some Walmarts have a Burger King, some of them have a hair salon / barbershops. Well, ours has a Subway, okay? And this guy who works there pointed her out and said, "Yo, who is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's Trisha, right?" And after hearing him call her 8 different synonyms for attractive, he asked me to find out if she's single. And I'm like, I got you, right? I don't know. I couldn't get women, but I was a W wingman. So I pulled up on her and I explained what went down. She laughed a little bit. And she was like, "Who asked?" And I described the guy and she was like, "Yeah, tell him I'm gay." And I was like, yo, Trisha is cold. But it is funny to see it happen to someone else, right? About a month later, though, a customer comes up to me and he says, "Yo, who's that girl with the fat ass?" And I was confused because we have multiple ladies with big asses. The problem was most of them were big everywhere else too. And, I pointed out one lady and he was like, "Oh no." Nonetheless, he ended up asking me to get her number for him. I was like, I'm not doing that. But I did end up telling her about it. I was like, "Hey, yo, a customer asked about you." And she's like, "Oh my God, who?" And I described the guy and she laughed and was like, "OMG." And after that, we never really talked like that. There was really no need to. She ended up quitting or getting fired, I don't know. And that was the end of that chapter. But hey, W development, you know what I'm saying? Trisha cool. She cool peoples. Anyways, so yeah, that was my first time getting rejected. It is what it is. It's happened to everybody and it's bound to happen to you eventually. But if you've ever been rejected and you're not shy, you already know what to do. Leave them below. Maybe you'll hear your story on here soon. And yeah, until we meet in the comments, man, because we know we up next. Sponsored by Atari and